The old house loomed over them, dark and creepy, daring them to enter. "This is a bad idea," Sarah whispered, hugging herself. "Scared, Sarah?" Josh chuckled, nudging her playfully. "It's just an old house. They were 5 friends out to shoot a spooky video for their channel. What better place than Blackwood Manor, infamous for being haunted?" Josh, always the leader, grabbed his camera. Tonight, they were in for a real scare, or so they thought. The air inside was heavy and still. Dust swirled in the faint beams of their flashlights. "Wow, this place is creepy," Emily said, her voice hushed. They set up the camera in the living room, its dusty grandeur a spooky backdrop. Cobwebs clung to the furniture like ghostly shrouds. The silence was broken only by their nervous laughter. "Okay, let's start rolling," Josh announced, grinning. He loved a good scare. They filmed their silly skits, their laughter echoing in the stillness. But as the night wore on, things started to feel strange. The temperature dropped, sending shivers down their spines. "Did you feel that?" whispered Max, rubbing his arms. "It's freezing," they all felt it. A cold spot right in the middle of the room. Then the lights flickered. Once, twice, and then plunged them into darkness. "Guys, this isn't funny," Sarah exclaimed, her voice high with fear. Josh fumbled for the flashlight, his heart pounding. As the beam flickered back to life, it caught something in the hallway. A shadow. Tall and gaunt, it seemed to melt into the darkness as quickly as it had appeared. "What was that?" Emily gasped, clutching onto Max's arm. Josh, trying to regain his bravado, chuckled nervously, probably just the wind. But deep down, a shiver of unease ran down his spine. That was no wind. He had seen it move. Back home, they huddled around the computer screen, the events of the night still fresh in their minds. They decided to watch the footage, hoping to debunk the spooky events. As they watched, laughter filled the room. They were actually quite funny. Then it happened. During a moment of silence, a figure flickered into view behind them. A ghostly figure, translucent and mournful, staring directly at the camera. The laughter died in their throats. The figure vanished as quickly as it appeared, but they had all seen it. Fear turned to curiosity. They couldn't ignore what they had seen. They had to go back. "This is insane," Sarah protested. "We have proof. Let's just leave it alone." But Josh was determined. "We have to know who or what that is," he insisted. "We can't just let it scare us away." Armed with cameras and flashlights, they returned to Blackwood Manor. The house seemed to be waiting for them, its windows like vacant eyes. The air was thick with anticipation. They entered the living room, the site of the ghostly apparition. Silence. And then the door slammed shut with a deafening boom. Whispers seemed to emanate from the walls, chilling them to the bone. "We should leave," Emily whimpered, her voice trembling, but it was too late. A cold mist began to gather in the center of the room, swirling and taking shape. The ghostly figure from the video materialized before their very eyes. The ghost turned towards them, her sorrowful eyes filled with a deep sadness. She reached out a translucent hand, as if trying to communicate. The friends were paralyzed with fear. They stood there, bathed in the ghostly glow, as the camera captured everything. What happened next remained a mystery. The footage ended abruptly, the screen filled with static. The friends were never seen again.